Who will take the lake and claim the coveted surfboard trophy? We're about to find out. High school volleyball coverage coming your way on SEC Sports, but before we begin the festivities, we must play the Star-Spangled Banner. But we have a special guest with us as well, White Bear Lake area and Mahtomedi in the first Battle of the Lake Volleyball edition since 2018. And as you saw, the winner will get to showcase that coveted surfboard in their trophy case for the next year. We'll talk more about the matchup in a moment, but now we will get to the Star-Spangled Banner. We are ready to begin the resumption of the White Bear Lake rivalry. I'm Mike Pete, and all by myself, talking to myself. We are introducing the rosters. Mahtomedi is going first, and as we noted, there is a special guest tonight. This is going to be a little different than most high school volleyball matches you're accustomed to seeing on SCC and elsewhere. At the end of the second set, we're going to have a seminar hosted by Reagan Pittman, the former Minnesota Golden Gopher. She owns and operates the Stand Tall Volleyball Academy, designed to build leadership skills in volleyball and beyond. At the end of the second set, she will host a seminar, so we'll have an extended break. More than the 3 minutes you get, but that's okay. I have a feeling all of us will have something to gain from what Reagan has to say this evening, and she'll join us in between the first and second set to talk about her organization, her mission, and how she is looking to take what she learned in volleyball in high school and college. Meanwhile, let's take a look at this matchup as these two teams look to build as they go into the rest of the season. White Bear Lake 2-5, now in Class 4A. As you know, volleyball expanded to 4 classes this year. 1-1 at home, 2-0 against teams with records below 500. Mahtomedi 5-1 against teams with records below 500. And they've won 3 straight set matches: South St. Paul, Jordan, and North St. Paul. The North St. Paul win significant because it was the first time Mahtomedi recorded a victory against the Polars in 8 matches. North St. Paul was queens of the Metro East for the last several years, but we're seeing a changing of the guard. And even though White Bear Lake sits at 2-5, I talked to their head coach, Mike Alexander, and he said this was the closest knit group he has seen in a long time. He has coached some teams that had better records, but more friction, less chemistry. And as you know, in sports, if players aren't getting along, winning can cover some things up, but eventually tensions will surface. This group, they don't take themselves too seriously. They like to play at a high level. Bus rides, dance lines, all of it. As far as White Bear Lake's concerned, records go out the window when they take the floor. Emma Berglund, the player to watch for Mahtomedi, entering this game, leads the team in kills. Based on most recent data available, 58 kills, 100 hitting percentage. There's a look at White Bear Lake's head coach Mike Alexander in his 5th season. I'm sure he'd like a few more wins to that record, but based on our conversation, records don't mean much, and I say this all the time. No matter where you are, you're more than your records, you're more than your rankings. And that's going to be a point for the Zephyrs. White Bear Lake opting to let that serve go, and Cameron Peterson begins the game with an ace. Peterson plays well for the Zephyrs. Picked up her 10th ace. White Bear Lake answers on the kill. Peterson picking up her 10th ace. Keep an eye out for Peterson in the front line. She also likes to employ the setter dump. Leads the team in assists, but has 13 kills, 245 hit percentage. So number 5 might throw some setter dump tricks. That pass a little off the mark. White Bear Lake will get a free ball. We'll get names and numbers as we move along. An extended rally taking place here. Net ball is going to be won by White Bear Lake on the lift violation. So the first ball handling error of this game. Assessed to the Zephyrs. White Bear Lake, data limited, but one of the players to keep an eye on, Ellie Messerschmidt. 10 kills in 19 attacks against Spring Lake Park. But it's Mahtomedi who scores on the line shot, Catherine Arneson, and I spoke with Angela Helly. She said Arneson and Erin Noel, the players to watch for the Zephyrs. They also are getting some back from injury. So the Zephyrs trying to get back to 500. There's a block for White Bear Lake, and that will fall for a point. Layla Guile and Abby Brugman involved in that one. And the Zephyrs take an early 3-2 lead. And as you know, it's an untimed sport. All that matters is being the first to 25, and you have to win by 2. Service error against Emma Berglund. This is Sammy Steffens, one of the captains, serving for the Bears. That serve receive went back into the White Bear Lake side. The Bears with the free ball. And scoring a point from the back row, I believe, was Steffens. My vantage point is partially obscured by the official, but he has to be where he is. His position is far more vital than mine. But Steffens lays a hit. And another serve. White Bear Lake had a chance there. Mahtomedi going with 2 touches on that last set, and that attack hits the net. White Bear Lake with the hitting error. Emma Berglund commits it. It looks like, though, when Steffens is on serve, that could create some opportunities. And she got Mahtomedi into a couple serve receives that went into the White Bear Lake side. So keep that in mind as we move along in this game. Kylie Gustafson, the sophomore, lands the kill for the Bears. White Bear Lake in section 4. That's a low serve, and that will end up being an ace, I believe, for Allie Schrader. So White Bear Lake looking to stymie Mahtomedi with their service game. That was a low serve. This time, Gustafson or Schrader sends a boomer that Mahtomedi is unable to play. So back-to-back points off the service game by Allie Schrader. Another tough play for Mahtomedi. White Bear Lake with a chance. Back to Mahtomedi. And that will go out of bounds. Hitting error charge to Catherine Arneson. And White Bear Lake elongating their lead, 8-4. Scoring a few points in succession. 3 with Schrader on serve. Sends a teardrop. And a hitting error charged to Kylie Gustafson. White Bear Lake picked up on the setter dump by Cameron Peterson, but hit that into the net. Any coach will tell you mistakes are going to happen in the sport of volleyball, but with rally scoring, you can make up for it on the next play. So it's important to keep your focus, maintain your concentration, and not get too down on yourself when a miscue happens. White Bear Lake using the setter dump to perfection. Annika Olsen with the score. Olsen, the junior, one of the 3 captains. Here's Bria Hill as the Bears hold a 9-5 lead in the first set. White Bear Lake jam there, free ball for the Zephyrs, and they cash in. Emily Short gets credit for the score. Decent crowd on hand. Of course, a White Bear Lake Mahtomedi game always adds a little extra. The 2 schools frequently meet in sports outside of football. And that will fall for another Mahtomedi point. That was set up by a serve receive that went back into the Mahtomedi side. And White Bear Lake wasn't able to get the control they were looking for on their bumps. Unofficially, Short will get credit for that, and Mahtomedi hands the ball back to White Bear Lake on the service error by Brugman. So Mahtomedi struggling a little bit in the service game. Here is Kaylee Geske. Mahtomedi goes right, and that off-speed hit barely got over the net. Mahtomedi will get another chance. This time they go left. And it will be a point for Mahtomedi and Emma Berglund. Although I believe White Bear Lake made contact with the net just before Berglund landed her hit. So that might hurt her kill numbers slightly. Big hit, that goes over to the White Bear Lake side. It almost hit the ceiling, but Mahtomedi comes up with the point. Emma Berglund, this time, without a doubt, scoring for the Zephyrs. That serve receive almost went over the rafters. Emily Short came up short on that serve. It's the 3rd service error against the Zephyrs, and those points add up with rally scoring. Here's Hannah Meyer. A low arcing serve. Berglund hit that one a little too far. Mahtomedi hampered a little bit by miscues in the service game and the hitting game. Mahtomedi calling for a deflection. The officials say no. So Emma Berglund will be charged with the hitting error as her attack went just out of bounds. And Meyer serves that one out of bounds. 13-10. There's Angela Helly in her 8th season. Took a year off. In those 8 years, as she started a family in that gap year, but then came back. And I think you can understand taking a year off when you're starting a family, if you know what I'm talking about. White Bear Lake with the hitting error. It will be charged to Bria Hill. 13-11 now. Mahtomedi leaves that one short. Arneson in position, just mistimed the hit. I'm noticing Cameron Peterson making several digs in that back row, providing Mahtomedi with a solid last line of defense, but she couldn't handle that serve. That will be an ace for Kaylee Geske. Arneson wasn't in position for the attack. That gives White Bear Lake a free chance, and they convert on the opportunity. Bria Hill scores. That will be enough for Mahtomedi to call the timeout. 16-11 is the score. And this is coming down to errors right now. White Bear Lake with a few hitting errors, but Mahtomedi with 3 service errors, and there was a super ball that just bounced in front of us. We're going to get a close-up view to the student sections here. I'm next to the Mahtomedi student section. White Bear Lake is to my right as you look at the Mahtomedi huddle. And a reminder that if you want to follow along and get up-to-the-minute information regarding SCC schools and other events, just follow us on social media. Suburban Community Channels on Facebook, SCC TV on Twitter and Instagram. Zephyrs coming off that straight set win over North St. Paul. Split their Farmington Invitational Tournament games, beating Winona and Jordan, losing to Osseo and Rosemount. They'll continue Metro East play. They do have one more non-conference game October 4th, and that is a home meet against St. Anthony. Service error on the Bears. And 16-12 is the score. It's 16-12, and we're still in the first set. White Bear Lake goes up front, and Ellie Messerschmidt from the middle picks up the kill. That makes the score 17-12. This is Sammy Steffens. Low serve. That ball bouncing around the net. We play on. Steffens with the dig. There's Peterson. She's second on the team in digs, providing some defensive capabilities for the Zephyrs. There's another example. But White Bear Lake should get a good chance out of this one. And a good eye by Kylie Gustafson, letting that one sail out. 18-12. Serve receive, heads up play. Couple of them, but it's White Bear Lake who wins that scrum. Ellie Messerschmidt with the score. But Catherine Arneson made a heads-up play to keep that point alive, at least momentarily. But the Bears with a 7-point lead. And that served low from Sammy Steffens. Everything about even unofficially when you look at kills, errors, and the like, but White Bear Lake a little scrappier in this first set. And that will be a point for Abby Brugman as she was able to squeeze it into the holes from that block. 19-14. Zephyrs still have one timeout left in this set. But White Bear Lake is trying to time themselves to a first set win. And Annika Olsson gets them one step closer. Here's Arneson. This time she scores. As Sammy Steffens wasn't able to make the play in the back row. Arneson rotates back to the service position. Peterson subbing out. As you know, with volleyball, rotations often have to do with matchups and positions, not so much about playing acumen. Blessing Mahtomedi with our first hard hit of the game, and she is pumped. Her first kill, and she fired a no-doubter in the front row. White Bear Lake closing in on a set 1 win. Steffens with the up. White Bear Lake can't do much with that play. Setter dump by Ellie Mustar. And Mahtomedi will score off the error. Here's Maddie Noel. She and Erin are twins, in case you're wondering. Cross-court shot lands for a point. Kylie Gustafson, the sophomore. One of the 2 young guns on the White Bear Lake roster, Kaylee Geske, an 8th grader. And getting the score fixed. The scoreboard briefly had White Bear Lake with 122, which is not possible, or I should say highly unlikely. Mahtomedi scores Emily Short with her 3rd kill unofficially in the first set. You know, theoretically, it is possible to score 122 points in a set, but you would need an awful lot of extra points. Good serve indeed. I don't know if you heard the reaction behind me, but I think one of the parents said good serve, and it certainly was for Emily Short. White Bear Lake unable to play it. That serve wasn't so good on the part of Short. But as we said before, mistakes do happen. You can't get too high or too low. White Bear Lake, though, 2 points away from cinching up a set 1 win. Low serve. And Layla Guile, a little displeased with herself, thought she had it. Timeout, Mahtomedi. Guile thought she had it. Her hit just went out of bounds, and White Bear Lake will have 6 set points to work with coming out of the timeout. Here's a look at Mahtomedi's recent games. We discussed the Farmington Invitational. As you know, volleyball teams take part in the weekend tournaments where you play condensed matches. And you see the North St. Paul result in there as well. That first win over North St. Paul since 2015. Certainly a boost forward for the Mahtomedi program. Other wins include South St. Paul and Creighton-Durham Hall. Six set points to work with for the Bears. Hannah Meyer serves that into the net. Her second service error. And here comes Cameron Peterson. Mahtomedi wins that net ball. And this is what you want. A little bit of momentum. Even if you don't get that set one win, it can carry over to later sets. If you can go on a run, make White Bear Lake flinch a little bit. Peterson's up, almost hit the ceiling. And White Bear Lake will take the first set off the hitting error from Emma Berglund. So, White Bear Lake with the advantage. And they are one step closer to claiming that coveted Take the Lake Surfboard Trophy. We'll be back and we will be joined by Reagan Pittman, the owner of Stand Tall Volleyball. When we return, you're watching High School Volleyball on SEC.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you, get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Disasters won't wait for a pandemic to be over. So while your family is home more often, make a plan in case you have to deal with coronavirus and a natural disaster at the same time. Ready.gov/plan has the educational tools and resources to help your family prepare for emergencies and find information on how the coronavirus may affect your plan. Disasters won't wait, neither should you. Make a plan with your family today.
Not a high school volleyball game without Sweet Caroline being played during the intermission. We're ready for set number 2. White Bear Lake leads Mahtomedi 1-0 after capturing the first set 25-20. And we are joined by Reagan Pittman, the former middle blocker at the University of Minnesota, 3-time All-American, 2 Final Fours, and that is just a couple of morsels of the many accolades Reagan has accumulated in volleyball. But now she's hoping to pass along some tips and tricks, not just in volleyball, but elsewhere through your Stand Tall Volleyball Academy. So Reagan, thanks for taking some time to join us. You'll be taking part in a seminar following this set. You noted that you started Stand Tall Volleyball right after you got out of college. When did you come up with the idea to begin a leadership academy?
So I have my master's in youth development leadership, so it's always been on my mind on the ways that I can influence the youth, and I thought, why not use my platform as an athlete and use it in my sport?
And we talked a little bit before the game. You said in volleyball there's so much more to it than making attacks up front, digs, all of those intangibles we discussed during the game, but there are a lot of lessons that can be imbued on these players beyond it. So what are some of the values that you try to teach through this academy?
Absolutely. Volleyball has given so many girls a community, and I really like to lean in that idea of it's allowing you a safe space to become the person that you want to be and learning who you as an individual want to be in a safe setting. So when you get to the workforce and you make that mistake, you aren't going to get fired right away. You already learned it through volleyball.
And that's a crucial lesson. I mention this all the time. Well, we have an example. Mistakes will happen in rally scoring, but I think this sport teaches you you can shake it off because you can make up for it on the very next play, and you certainly can apply that approach in life as well.
Absolutely. Volleyball is just a game of mistakes.
It is a game of mistakes. And there's a look at some of Reagan Pittman's accolades on that resume. I think we got most of them right.
Hopefully.
Oh, I believe so. No, we do our research here at SEC as Mahtomedi ties White Bear Lake 2-2 in this first set. So tell us a little bit about your journey, because I think for all of us, the pandemic created this detour. In your case, you got to finish your career, well, in the spring. Usually that's club season at the high school level, but because of the situation, you had to postpone the ending of your volleyball career. But that being said, what did you enjoy most about your time as a Division I college athlete?
I enjoyed getting to know the athletes that I got to play with. So many of them are so inspiring and such strong young women, and I really look up to so many of them, and I'm happy to call many of them my friends. I also really enjoyed getting to meet the fans and how much energy and effort they give to us each set and game. So that's some of my favorites. What a rally happening here, right?
I always love these extended rallies that is won by Ellie Messerschmidt, because you really get to see the strategy play out. I think you're used to rallies maybe going one or two plays.
Seconds, yeah.
Right, 15 seconds, but when they get longer and then you start to see all those defensive ups and all of that, the intensity grows. So I love those extended rallies.
Absolutely.
As a fan and as a player, I'm sure that can be nerve-wracking because you're wondering what's going to happen next. That's a hitting error charge to White Bear Lake, but it creates a little more excitement, you're right, and a little more ingenuity as well. So what were some of the lessons you picked up through volleyball that you think helped you start this leadership academy?
Some big ones was definitely being who I am. You know, when you got to put on spandex and a tight jersey and play in front of thousands and thousands of fans, you really have to get comfortable in who you are. Another lesson I definitely learned is how to be a leader, and that leadership is a lot harder than people make it out to be. So really making sure that I'm being the best for my team.
So what goes into being an effective leader, not just in volleyball, but elsewhere? Because as you were telling me, you go to volleyball camps, schools, you've had some corporate engagements, and we have a reversal. Mahtomedi scored after an officials discussion, but what you're learning, what you learned through your work in sports and what you're learning now away from it, it's a big world out there, but a lot of things do carry over, maybe more than what we might think of when we were watching games on BTN or ESPN.
Absolutely. One of the big things is understanding that you're not going to get along with all of your teammates, but if you respect them as an athlete and as a person, they'll be there. And I often find that carries over into like that co-worker situation. You don't need to be friends in the office, but you definitely can be co-workers or teammates and be super respectful to that individual.
Now, your Stantal Volleyball Academy has officially been in operation for just a few months, but
exactly, yep.
What has excited you most so far, whether it was an engagement, an opportunity to reach out to people? I know White Bear Lake got in touch with you, and that's why you're here, but what opportunities has Stantal Volleyball created for you?
So many opportunities in so many different ways. I've received so much love from girls thanking me for what I'm doing, and from parents too. It's just been such an honor to receive that feedback. And weird point there, huh?
It was a weird point.
Receive feedback from the parents and just how much they love what I'm doing, and just the support and the community that I've built around me of amazing, strong women, and then men with that who support those strong women and stand behind them. It's been such a blessing for me to build that community and hopefully continue to build that community.
One thing I've learned covering women's sports as long as I have, it's a tight-knit community. It may not be the biggest, but those who follow it do so almost religiously, and that makes for some fun, engaging conversations. What would you say was the biggest challenge, as we have a hitting error, I believe? Yes. on Mahtomedi. We've had some interesting points play out in this conversation, but what was the biggest challenge after you decided to make that transition from athlete to citizen?
Finding a workout routine that I actually liked. And then also still getting used to getting recognized in public. I was in Costco today picking up mozzarella sticks, and this guy comes up to me and goes, "Are you Reagan Pittman?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I love watching you. What do you do now?" And I got to talk about my business, so that's definitely been some of the stuff that's carried over.
You might have just had another client.
Maybe.
That maybe was your next client.
Maybe.
But I can relate. I've had folks recognize me from YouTube, and I always tense up a bit because I'm not used to that. I don't do this for myself. I love sharing stories. And it's a little weird, but I take it as a token of appreciation that people respect what you did, and I'm sure they grew up watching you these last few years on BTN and ESPN. What goals do you have moving forward as you continue the first year of Stand Tall Volleyball, and how do you think that could lead into the next phase of your career as Blessing Adebisi scores back-to-back kills?
I would definitely love to do more of the leadership side. I've done some volleyball clinics and lessons, and I would like to speak to larger crowds, such as one tonight. We got a pretty loud and excited crowd here. But I definitely would love to go and do leadership and speak at bigger crowds and just impact as many young female athletes as I can, and in any sport, right? I want to be that person they look to when they're like, "Oh, this is the person who's helped shape my leadership the most."
Mahtomedi calling a timeout with White Bear Lake going on a run, accentuated by that service ace. On that subject, Reagan, who would you consider the role models that help mold you not just into a strong athlete, but the leader that you're becoming?
There is definitely one, Victoria Garrett. She played at USC, and she is known on Instagram as the body image lady in the world of body image. She's known as that lady on Instagram, and I just really look up to her because her messages are so honest and true, and she's really helped shape young lives to love their body and accept who they are as that individual, and that's something I really aspire to be one day.
And for those who aren't familiar with Stand Tall Volleyball, we talked a little bit about the opportunities and the engagements you've taken part of, but what is the Academy designed for in terms of leadership and beyond?
The Academy is designed to build strong females in the sport of volleyball, any sport really, build them in that sport and teach them how to properly build a community around them that's gonna last a lifetime. So that way they can come back and give back to the sport that they love for so many years, and then build more strong females.
And on top of that, you've set up a scholarship fund as well called Earl's Helping Paws. So
yes.
What is that about?
So Earl's Helping Paws, I have a 25-pound mini Australian Shepherd, and he travels with me everywhere. Not tonight, unfortunately. And he travels with me everywhere, and he is kind of like my right-hand man. He gives out scholarships to kids who can't afford camp or lessons or schools or companies that can't afford me to come in. He is a donation-based program, and you can find on the website, standtallvolleyball.com, how to donate to that.
Not too many philanthropic dogs out there, Reagan. So your dog Earl, he's quite busy, it sounds like.
He is extremely busy, very busy. He loves it, though.
And of course, you will be hosting a seminar after the conclusion of this set. And what excites you about getting a chance to check out some of these high schools? You know about the volleyball culture here in Minnesota. You played in front of sold-out games at the PAV. We're back to that this year, of course. And the high school community, several broadcasts have reached millions of views on YouTube. This community eats up volleyball at an impressive rate. What do you enjoy most about your time here, and what volleyball means to Minnesota?
I have really loved getting to watch the girls that I work with this summer at White Bear Lake play, and just to see them use that leadership piece we talked about on the court. It's been so cool. And also number 11, she's been on fire every night except for that kill, but we'll dismiss it. No one saw it, right? Just
Like I
really
said,
getting to see them be a leader and use the words that I've told them in action. That's been my favorite part of tonight.
As I was going to say, mistakes happen, so
Absolutely.
just get them on the next play. Don't worry about the number of mistakes you make. So as you get ready for that seminar, there are a couple of questions I'd like to throw at you that I ask of all my guests.
Yes.
What was your most exciting moment as a volleyball athlete, and your most embarrassing? And by that I mean a silly, not like harrowing, but something you look back on and you just think to yourself, how did that happen?
One of my most exciting plays when was it? 2019, and it was the Sweet 16 against Creighton. And the setter set a 2-ball, and I roofed it, and it was the game point in the 5th set, and we almost lost to them in 3, and we came back. I think we almost lost in 3, and we came back. And just getting that game-winning block just really, and the support from the PAV just really gave me chills down my spine. And then one of my most embarrassing, this is a story I don't think I've told many people, but when I was a true freshman, my coach, Laura Casey, was tossing me slides, and I turned back and I swung at her, and I gave her a black eye, and I totally didn't mean to, but she came in with black eyes and glasses, and I definitely think that's one of my most embarrassing things from practice or anything. I got a lot of stories, but that's one of the highlights.
I think that's one of the great things about being an athlete, no matter what level. You probably have seen the memes as Sammy Steffen scores, whether it's D1, D2, D3, all the way down to JUCO, NAIA. If you play at the college level, celebrate it, because it's an opportunity you won't forget. And I hope your coach didn't hold that against you.
No.
With the black eye.
She did not. I love that woman. She's taught me so much.
If anything, I think she was probably appreciative that, okay, she's got a mean swing, and I've got proof. I've got the receipts. Timeout, White Bear Lake on a big run here with Sammy Steffen scoring a couple points. And another question I'd like to ask, with everything you've experienced at this point and your growth and maturity as a leader, not just in volleyball, but elsewhere too, what would you tell a younger version of yourself?
I would tell a younger version of myself to be myself and to not be affected by those who made fun of you or judged you, and just to really make a healthy balance between volleyball and life outside of volleyball.
Good advice for anyone. And if anyone out there is interested in getting in touch with you for a seminar or another type of speaking engagement, how can they get a hold of you?
They can either reach me through stantallvolleyball.com. There's a little text box you can fill out, or you can send me an email at stantallvolleyball@gmail.com.
Stantall Volleyball, and I believe that's Stantall Volleyball across social media.
Absolutely, yes.
Well, Reagan Pittman, thank you for joining us. I know we'll be broadcasting the seminar you will be hosting here shortly, but thanks for taking some time to explain about your organization, and I can't wait to see where this takes you. You've got to travel the country with your volleyball acumen and all the Final Fours, but I've got a feeling this next phase, as you get to grow and evolve, is going to bring its own sense of excitement, and I can't wait to hear about the successes that come your way.
Thank you so much.
Reagan Pittman, the former middle blocker at the University of Minnesota, she will be leading a seminar here shortly. As soon as one of these teams gets to 25, White Bear Lake is hoping they're the first ones to do it. They have been on a roll in the second set. As we resume action, they lead 17-10, and leading the way, folks like Ellie Messerschmidt, who throws down the block, but Blessing Adebisi and Sammy Steffens have also recorded several points in succession. The Bears came in with the worst record of the two teams, but you wouldn't know it, and it goes back to what Mike Alexander was saying earlier. They're a super fun group. They don't hang their heads too low over a setback. They just plug away, and they're enjoying this. And after what happened a year ago where we had a limited season, that's a hitting error on Mahtomedi. Limited season, not a lot of chances to play, no state tournament. I think everyone is appreciative that they at least have a sense of normalcy here. So this White Bear Lake team is playing well. And on the flip side, Angela Helly had nothing but positive things to say about the Mahtomedi team as well. So both of these squads share that sense of unity and togetherness that sometimes is missing even with top teams. As Reagan was noting, there's so much more to this sport than titles and wins. Yes, we talk about the Final Fours, the three All-American awards she won, and many others as a member of a Big Ten school, but it can be a lot of pressure to manage too, and I think it's great to see two teams, although White Bear Lake is probably having more fun right now. It's great to speak to the coaches. The student section is certainly having fun. White Bear Lake certainly worthy of this performance thus far. They lead 21-10, now 21-11. Mahtomedi looking a little disorganized here. But, as Reagan was saying, her volleyball career included several comebacks, including a few from 2 sets down, as Stefan serves that one into the net. So Mahtomedi not out of this yet. Until you win 3 sets, the game is not over. But the Zephyrs are going to have some work to do. And remember, they are bringing back some players from injury. So dealing with some adversity there. White Bear Lake scores on the cut. Bria Hill puts White Bear Lake 2 away from a set 2 win. And a reminder, we will carry Reagan Pittman's seminar live on SCC, so don't go anywhere when we go to the set break. I can't wait to hear what she has to say, and White Bear Lake hits that one into the net. And as she noted, and I can speak to this from my experience covering athletes, I wasn't one myself, but it's always amusing when you run into people who recognize you for the work that you do. But it is cool to see that even after your playing days are done, as Adebisi hits that one a little too hard, it's cool to hear stories about the fans, the people who followed you all these years and still hold you in high regard. 23-13, Mahtomedi on a run here. Trying to build one anyway. Emily Short gets them one step closer, and it goes back to what we're saying. It's an untimed sport, so until someone gets to 25, it's not over. And we talk about this all the time. Even if this doesn't result in a set win, it's the little things. You can take notes, you can use it to build up confidence, and just remind yourself that we belong here. In fact, Mahtomedi's run, as Emily Short scored again on the off-speed tap, is enough to get White Bear Lake to use one of their timeouts. Mahtomedi looked like they were in big trouble, and they still trail by 8 with White Bear Lake 2 away, but Mahtomedi not going away. If you just joined us, this is a battle to take the lake. White Bear Lake, as you know, Mahtomedi and White Bear Lake on opposite sides of White Bear Lake. Mahtomedi on the east side, White Bear Lake on the west side. Here's a look at the Suburban East standings. White Bear Lake, one of the teams yet to collect a win in conference play, and that won't change tonight. Mahtomedi in the Metro East. But the Bears looking for a little bit of momentum, and a win over Mahtomedi certainly would help the cause. Eastridge, the favorite to win. They are 3-0 and have yet to drop a set in conference play. Irondale got a sweep over White Bear Lake on Tuesday. So the Knights, the lone undefeated team. Now, Eastridge and Irondale have played significantly different non-conference schedule. Stillwater in the mix as well, picking up their first conference win over Roseville. Stillwater expected to be a dark horse as conference play continues in the Suburban East. Back to action here. Blessing out of BC scores again, and Reagan made note of number 11 and her terrific performance in the second set. And she's been responsible for 4 kills unofficially, and that was exactly the play White Bear Lake needed following the timeout. 9 set points to work with. And White Bear Lake closes out. Kylie Gustafson rises, fires, and clinches set 2 in favor of the Bears. 25-15, so White Bear Lake 1 set away from a sweep over Mahtomedi, but the Zephyrs have shown glimpses. If they can string together a more consistent performance, get on an extended run or two, they can work their way back in this. So, with that, we will take another break, but Reagan Pittman will host a seminar here, so stick around. And here she is.
Can you guys hear me? So as I thought of what I wanted to tell you guys today, I thought of a story. She was a very young woman. She started volleyball during 8th grade. In 8th grade, she didn't belong to any group. She didn't know where she fit. She didn't know who she was. But as she went down this journey from high school, winning a state championship, being on varsity for 3 years, she was still bullied and made fun of her sports and her sports ability. As she got older, she ended up committing to the University of Minnesota as a 15-year-old her sophomore year of high school. She then ended up going to college at Minnesota and becoming a 3-time All-American and having 2 Final Fours. That didn't define who I was as a person. It only adds to my accolades to be able to speak to you today. As a person, Reagan is a goofy, fun, outspoken leader who wants to define and create safe spaces for young women to become confident leaders themselves. How do they do that? There's a few things. They have to wake up and decide to be themselves every single day they wake up. They have to wake up and choose to enjoy volleyball while it lasts. There's going to be some time when volleyball isn't going to be there anymore. And you guys are going to have to get used to that. Whether that's in high school, whether that's in college, or whether that's pro. Volleyball gives you a safe space and a community that you will not find anywhere else. So embrace it while you can and stand tall in your beliefs.
Reagan Pittman, and what she said is not only applicable to volleyball but any other sport. There will be a point, whether it's high school, college, or the pros, where your career comes to an end. Oh, we're not quite done yet.
So the first round of winner gets a stand tall volleyball shirt, and then the second gets the White Bear Lake. The first winner is Anna. Coming out in a yellow shirt. Yeah! And then the second winner is Olivia.
With that, we are ready to start set number 3. It is youth night, and a couple of young fans, I'm sure, won't forget this experience, getting a chance to meet with Reagan Pittman. How many of these players look up to someone like her? And what she said, valuable in volleyball and any other sport. The life of an athlete is not that long compared to most careers. But I say this all the time, your legacy isn't defined by your records or your stat sheet, or how many titles you won. It's what you do to make a difference in sports, in the career field, no matter where you are. And it's great to see Reagan fresh off a decorated college career, already finding ways to give back to the community that helped her become who she is. Told me before the game that she travels all over the country as we start the third set, and we have a net violation called on Mahtomedi. Ellie Mustar got a little too close. And there's still people coming up taking photos with their... That's something that may not go away for a while, especially for all these volleyball fans out here. And that's going to be another point for White Bear Lake on the double contact call. So Mahtomedi hitting a rough patch to start this third set. And if you didn't notice, Reagan Pittman has some vertical. She's significantly taller than me, although I'm used to that, covering the WNBA for 10 years and covering high school sports, basketball and volleyball for several years. 6'5" is the listed height. I am not 6 feet. A little shorter than that, 5'11", but that's okay. Height is just a number. Emma Berglund with the hitting error for the Zephyrs, and the Bears are off to another quick start in this third set. And with a game like this against a couple of under-the-radar teams, you never know what will transpire. You look at the records and you wonder, maybe White Bear Lake will find themselves struggling tonight, but they are thriving. Sammy Steffens with the line shot that paints the back corner. And Mike Alexander highlighted Messerschmidt in that Spring Lake Park win. And the Bears clawing their way. Pittman still picking people up. There's Mike Alexander. I don't think he's looking to get picked up by Reagan Pittman. He's looking to pick up a win against a fellow Lake rival. That was an ace, by the way, from Annika Olsen on the last play. And White Bear Lake has run smoothly, operating on all cylinders. 6-0 in this third set. White Bear Lake going to the left side. Another fine play. Sammy Steffens with the finish. White Bear Lake student section chanting, "We want Sammy." Well, that ball's coming our way, and it's going to bounce off into the bleachers. Hopefully someone will pick that up, as the attack from Arneson was a little bit short. I was worried for a moment. I thought I'd have to retrieve it. Bears up 8-0. 9-0. Following a let serve. This is insane. I've seen runs, but not like this. Mahtomedi using the first of their 2 timeouts in this third set, as Angela Helly is trying to figure out how to get Mahtomedi back in rhythm. Here's another look at that last play. The serve receive. Okay, this was a prior play. This was Arneson's misfire. But that has been a microcosm of Mahtomedi in this third set, just struggling a little bit, and that can happen sometimes in the sport of volleyball. You run into a game where nothing goes your way. You beat a team like North St. Paul. Here's the last play from Kaylee Geske, the 8th grader, in our super slow-mo. It was a let serve, and that threw Mahtomedi off just enough for Geske to score the point. Actually, that was Annika Olsen. Let's see what happens after the timeout as Mahtomedi tries to rally the troops. Here's Arneson. Diving up. What a beautiful hit. Olsen with a one-handed up. And Sammy Steffens finds the space in the back corner. 10-0. Another good serve by White Bear Lake. Should get a good attacking chance here. That didn't quite work out. Here comes Mahtomedi. They just got to find something. Let's see if that awakens the offense, as Catherine Arneson scores the first point for the Zephyrs in this set. It's always fun, even though these two teams are in different conferences. It's always fun when these two get together. These two play each other in several sports. Basketball, soccer, volleyball resuming its rivalry series after taking a pause. Ellie Messerschmidt scores for White Bear Lake. They didn't play each other in 2019. 2020, they could not play each other due to pandemic protocols. Steffens with the diving dig, and that's going to pay off once again for White Bear Lake. Kylie Gustafson making the play up front. White Bear Lake playing some stellar defense in this third set. That's setting up some wonderful offensive plays. Here's Arneson. That's the second kill for Mahtomedi in this set. As we change direction. As we've seen before, Mahtomedi can go on runs. And Kylie Gustafson put a little too much velocity on that hit, sending it out of bounds. The White Bear Lake answers quickly. Ellie Messerschmidt with a little bit of assist from the tape, but she still gets credit for the kill. The tape does not. Here's Ali Schrader. White Bear Lake up big. 13-3. And you're watching it live on SCC. That was a point for Mahtomedi. The official was on top of it. Emily Short using the one-handed tap. It hit the floor. The official was on top of it. White Bear Lake thought the play was still alive, but I heard the whistle and the signal. Mahtomedi getting a few points here, and a bit of a miscommunication on that attack from White Bear Lake. That opens the door for the Zephyrs to storm their way in. Abby Brugman scoring, and this is what the Zephyrs need. Get a few points here, get a few points there, work their way back. They still trail by 8, but they got on the board. They're putting together some rallies here. Setter dump by Mahtomedi is a little too far. New star with the hitting error. White Bear Lake looking to pick up another win in a season where they haven't had many yet. Brugman sends that one out of bounds. If you're curious, the last time these two teams met back in 2018, as that will be a point for Mahtomedi, no deflection. The Zephyrs beat White Bear Lake in 4 sets. One of them 25-10, so lopsided scores, they can happen, and that is one of the many unpredictable things that make volleyball a sport to watch. You can have a neck-and-neck battle in one set. Another team can go on a big run, as we saw White Bear Lake do to start this 3rd set. 10-0. Service error on Maddie Knoll. It's unpredictable. In fact, Mahtomedi has dominated this series. Going back to the last 10 matchups. Kylie Lalek gets it off the face, I believe, of Geske, and it's hard to dig with your face. But that was a well-placed hit by Kylie Lalek to get Mahtomedi the point. That will be an error on White Bear Lake. Adebisi had to retrieve the ball. Didn't get the best set for Monica Olsen. And that was a well-placed serve for the Zephyrs, and they're slowly inching their way back. It will be enough for White Bear Lake to call a timeout. As we said, though, with untimed sports, runs can happen, and you don't know when or where. But how this game has played out might be a surprise when you go back to the season series. They met in 2018. They met 3 times in 2017. And just to show you that I know what I'm talking about, there's a look. Mahtomedi has won all 10 of the previous meetings. Now, teams can change from year to year, and when you haven't played each other in 3 years, you're going to look a little different. But historically, Mahtomedi has played well, but it's White Bear Lake coming out in force. But we've seen some surprising results. Mahtomedi in 3A, White Bear Lake in 4A, but the theme in 4A has been parity across the board. As we resume play, and that will be a hitting error, I believe, on Steffens, as that did not cross the net. But we had an example of that earlier this week. Prior Lake, a team that was under 500, knocked off Minnetonka, a top 10 team in Class 4A. Champlain Park started the season outside the top 10 and opened the year with 2 big wins against top 10 teams in Lakeville North and Eastridge. So you just never know what will happen. White Bear Lake scoring that last point. So most of these kids may not be familiar with the series history between the two, as Hannah Meyer serves that one into the net. But if White Bear Lake is able to close out, what that would do for the group of seniors, and you've got the 8th grader in Kaylee Geske, what that could do to boost the morale. It was already up there, speaking with Mike Alexander, telling me about how White Bear Lake balances fun with hard play, as Ellie Messerschmidt demonstrates. But you beat a rival that you haven't defeated in a really long time. That means something. A win is a win is a win, as the saying goes. Lalik hits that one into the net. 19-12, both teams with 1 timeout remaining. And Mahtomedi answers back. Lily Chul with the score up the middle. Chul leads the team in hit percentage entering this game, 209, 55 kills, but up until that last play was kept in check. Abby Brugman once again from Mahtomedi. Hitting from the outside. Here's Zoe Centers, who always has a joke. One of the jokesters for the Zephyrs that keeps things light on the east side of White Bear Lake. Bria Hill scoring again on the cross-court shot. Here's Sammy Steffens serving. Led the team in kills and aces last year. And on cue, she picks up one. Timeout, Mahtomedi. Their final of the third set. White Bear Lake up 21-14, a few points away from a straight set sweep. And a win that could give this program a much needed boost. Here's another look at that let ace. Looking ahead for the Bears, they've got plenty other Suburban East teams awaiting them. Park of Cottage Grove and Roseville, a couple of road games, Cretin-Durham Hall. Looking at the rest of the schedule, they've got some winnable matchups. Park of Cottage Grove and Cretin-Durham Hall come to mind, so the Bears have a chance to get a couple more. And Steffens again won't get credit for the ace, but she was responsible for that point. Stillwater and Woodbury, Roseville could be a challenge, but we'll see. As I said, you never know what can happen, and we've seen some upsets at the higher levels. There's no reason to believe White Bear Lake couldn't do the same and pick up a few wins. That schedule, we should note, doesn't factor upcoming weekend tournaments because those games are not entered until they're completed, since you don't really know who you're going to play. But I do know this, White Bear Lake was rolling in this third set. Steffens picks up another ace, and the Bears are ready to hoist that surfboard trophy. 24-14. White Bear Lake picks up on the setter dump. Arneson to Brugman. An extended rally playing out. Good hustle by White Bear Lake, just couldn't quite catch up to the ball. And Mahtomedi extends the game for at least one more point. They trail 10-0 in this third set, and it's really tough to work your way back from that kind of deficit. But they have some more winnable games ahead of them too, as Arneson throws down the block. It's been a long time since White Bear Lake has defeated Mahtomedi, but that drought is no more. It's a straight set win for the Bears. 25-20, 25-15, 25-16. And that means the Take the Lake. I'm sure they can taste victory too, but there's the trophy, and it's going to belong to White Bear Lake until next year. It's been a long time since White Bear Lake beat Mahtomedi in this rivalry series. And I don't know what lies ahead for the two teams, but for White Bear Lake, a school that maybe doesn't have as many wins as Wayzata or Shakopee, as everyone gets together for the post-game handshakes. But this is one of those baby steps for the Bears. And another affirmation of that combination, mixing fun, hard play. In fact, everyone's going to get together here. So White Bear Lake claiming the Take the Lake surfboard trophy. Mahtomedi will have to try again. Now, Mahtomedi has some winnable games coming up on their end too. And I don't get a trophy for this, but perhaps we should create one down the road. But it was a pleasant effort from White Bear Lake to see how well they put together their offense, their defense. You could tell they were the more cohesive team tonight. Mahtomedi, they're going to get some more wins too as the Metro East Conference slate continues. But for a school like White Bear Lake that hadn't beaten Mahtomedi in a long time, that hasn't had a lot to celebrate in recent years, didn't get to have a proper finish to the 2020 season, this is one of the many moments I'm sure they will appreciate as they continue the 2021 season. And we want to thank all of you who tuned in for high school volleyball coverage on SEC. Once again, thanks to Reagan Pittman for stopping by and giving us a chat about her Stantal Volleyball organization. You can follow them on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram if you want to connect and have her come to your school or business to spread some encouraging words about leadership. And if you want to follow us and connect with us, our social media handles, Suburban Community Channels on Facebook, SEC TV on Twitter and Instagram. Right now, it's time for a line dance with the victorious White Bear Lake area Bears. They knock off the Mahtomedi Zephyrs in straight sets. For the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thank you for watching high school volleyball coverage on SEC Sports.